Every time you step up to achieve something, it will likely be a long and intense journey. Some challenges take months, while others take years. Today I want to share my story of reaching my biggest Trackmania record yet, where I set out to beat everyone in my home country and at least try to be a true opponent against the best players as an amateur. And all of that in just 3 months. Winter 2024, Track 10. This is the place where everything I'm going to tell you today happened. It's only a 35-second long map, but the number of things you have to think about here is more than enough. The most important section are the plastic drift, a very sharp turn followed by a water-hugging wall, and a bit of sand road, and the final ice slide at the end of the track. In those sections, you can save a lot of time, if you can do them correctly. Back then I was a streamer for my small community. That was the first time I tried to play this map. At the time it was just another map for me. Nothing special. I beat the auto time and move on to the next map in the campaign.
Dívaj sa, jak idem, jak ďábel. Čate. Very good. And now, just like this, save finish. Auto time.
A few days later, my friend Anka sent a message to my community Discord server saying that her boyfriend had beaten my time by a few milliseconds. To be honest, I got interested in this map just because of that message. I started to feel that urge to see what I was capable of. Am I good enough to beat his time? So I start grinding. And after a few hours of playing this track, I got the second place in my country. All what I wanted to achieve was a number 1 place. My biggest opponents were Cupcat and Arjen, and after multiple runs, I finally hit the attempt I wanted.
Donde me criaba. Ya no me duele tanta baba.
34.215. Only 0.001 seconds better than Cupcat's run. After watching the comparison, I have to say that I like his run more than mine. It just seems cleaner. But I was happy. I achieved my goal. But just for a few days. Arjen hit 34.068 and he rightfully took first place. I felt like this time was already so hard to beat for me. I wasn't sure if I was able to beat it and take first place again. My goal was still clear, to be at least number 1 on this track in my country. It was hard, but after many tries I hit a slightly better run than Arjen.
Yes, 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 yes.
After this run, I stayed unbeaten. GG, I accomplished my goal. So this is it. But do you know that feeling when you are trying to improve yourself, but you feel like your result isn't where it should be? So yeah, at this point I started wanting the best result possible. A top 100 in Europe would be enough. But there was one trick that nobody was going for. At least not in my country. After watching Giuliano's stream, I saw that he and the other better players had learned this wild trick in the plastic drift section. And if someone like me saw this, I was like, okay, there is no way I can learn that. But I tried. As you can see, it's combination of action keys and precision. Action keys are basically steering lockers for your car, a legal help for keyboard players. And this trick is basically impossible without them. I almost gave up on that because it was just so hard. But after changing the action keys from the upper number row on the keyboard to the arrow keys, it felt so much better. After more than an hour, I finally learned it. And after a couple of attempts, I was able to hit the right run and finally break the 34-second barrier. With this technique I was able to improve my time multiple times in a short period. And for the first time in my Trackmania career I earned the champion medal. At this point every single improvement felt like an extremely difficult task. But for some reason I still had that inner feeling that I could improve my time. Not by much, but at least a little. Let's play a game. I found a small trick that gave me a huge advantage over other players. At least at the time nobody was doing it. At least no one in the top 5. I found it by myself and to be honest I was really proud of it. Try to guess what I did differently compared to the other runs.
What happened? What happened?
Did you find it? It was this movement, a small left up wiggle on the sand road. If you look at the speed difference, it just gave me a massive boost. Only because of this, I was able to improve my time by a lot. My goal was top 100 in Europe, but at this point I was going for the world record. And let me tell you, it was a ride. I improved my time to 33.242. I was about to hit another best run, but I couldn't handle the pressure, so I choked at the end. And just a couple of runs later, exactly the same thing happened. It can hurt you when you are trying for hours and hours repetitively, but because of these runs, I found another huge thing that could improve my time even more. In sharp turn section, I realized that I can go even wider and gain much more speed for the next part of the track. And after a couple of hours I hit nearly 2 PBs back to back and reached 9th place in the world. I was getting closer and closer to reaching my first world record. I had never been closer than I was then. After another few hours of playing, I can proudly say that I hit my best run in Trackmania.
Ti si blazen. Oh. What?
33.072. If you look at the leaderboard, I was only 0.059 seconds away from the world record. and the comparison with the world record was insanely close. I was more motivated than ever, but unfortunately I couldn't improve my time. There were only a few days left in the campaign, and during this time Giuliano discovered a trick that I had started using a few weeks before him. After this discovery there was no catching up with him, and he kept breaking world records one after another. He activated Absolute Beast Mode. He was simply way out of my league. Sometimes it took me 10 to 20 hours to beat my own record, while it sometimes took him less than 30 minutes to beat his own record, which was better than mine all the time. He finished with the time of 32.872, and I ended up holding 5th place in Europe and 8th place in the world overall. While this might seem like a negative ending since I didn't achieve what I wanted, in the end it's unbelievable better than what I had imagined. At first my goal was just to be a number one in my home country, and in the end I ended up ranking among the best players in the world. And for me, as an amateur in this game, that's completely beyond reality. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I would be so grateful for your subscribe. But of course, it's completely up to you. I appreciate your time, and I believe I will see you guys next time. Take care and stay cool.